Ayo, what's up, my G's? Welcome to ELA Boys with a Z because we're from Canada, right? Do you hear that jazz music? Oh, that's so nice. That comes from the 1920s. And you know what? We should take a stroll through the 1920s, don't you think? This is where the Great Gatsby came from. So this book right here is written by my main man, F. Scott Fitz, man, yo. You get that? FSF, yo, this guy's crazy, man. The words he uses in here, too crazy. And now some of you girls may think that this is a love story. No, it's not. I hate to break it to you, but it's not. Sucks to suck. I hate to be you, man. Anyway, so we're gonna take a look into what my main man Fitz is trying to say about love in the story. But before we could do that, we're gonna go into the life story of Fitzgerald and Jay Gatsby. Now that you guys know the facts about the Great Gatsby, I'm gonna hand you guys over to my main man, my brother from another mother, the Asian dude, amazing behind this camera. Here you go.
Yo, it's your boy DC, and I'ma spit out the facts for you. Thanks for my brother from the hood for giving us that intro. Now into that spicy stuff. Gatsby reflects Fitzgerald's life throughout the book, and you dim if you can't make those connections. Well, we researched a little for you, and we found parts of Gatsby's life showed in the story that is directly taken from Fitzgerald's life. Through these experiences, we're going to see what Fitzgerald may be telling us about love and relationships. Now for both Fitzgerald and Gatsby, they got their chicks. For Gatsby, it's Daisy, and for Fitzgerald, it's Zelda. Gatsby and Fitzgerald both met their partners in a very similar way. Gatsby, as shown in the book, met Daisy in Louisville when Gatsby was training in the army. Gatsby fell for this girl and mostly fell in love with the wealth and lifestyle of what Daisy had. Also, Fitzgerald met his love during July 1918 when he was also in the army. Coincidence? I think not. Fitzgerald was stationed near Montgomery, Alabama, and that's where he met Zelda. Gatsby's first time seeing Daisy is basically based on Fitzgerald meeting Zelda. Now both of my boys fell in love, and what do they decide to do? Leave their girls for a little bit. Imagine thinking to yourself, I think I just found the love of my life, but how do I get closer to her? Oh, I know, I should leave them and make myself worthy. Well, that may sound stupid to you, but both Fitzgerald and Gatsby, they had their reasons. Fitzgerald left Zelda to go to New York to be a writer so he can persuade Zelda to marry him. Gatsby, on the other hand, had to serve in the war, and Daisy told him she'll wait for him. When the war ended, my man Gatsby had something in his head that told him that he needed to get rich and to do it quickly in order to marry and live the rest of his life with Daisy. Because if she finds out that Gatsby's broke as hell, well, she would not marry him. We gotta remember, Gatsby is still a fictional character, but he still is based on Fitzgerald's life. So you gotta give credit to Fitzgerald. My man went to New York, became a writer, impressed Zelda, and got to marry her. Another thing in the novel based on Fitzgerald's life has to do with that booze. During the 20s, the US government did this thing called prohibition. They basically made alcohol illegal to stop people from drinking, but boy did that not work. Fitzgerald's relationship was destroyed partly due to his drinking problem he had. His wife had mental breakdowns, and eventually their relationship went sour. Gatsby, on the other hand, was not a drinker. This could show that Fitzgerald had regrets of his drinking problem and creates a character who never touches a drink. But hold on, Gatsby is not off the hook yet, as he got rich from bootlegging. Due to this alcohol ban, in the 1920s, people got rich from selling drinks illegally. You've heard those gangster names like Al Capone, the big guys. They got rich by bootlegging, and Gatsby was no different. This did not look good on Gatsby when Daisy found out in the novel, and is partly the reason why Daisy chooses Tom over Gatsby, because Gatsby is in that legal stuff, so that's not good at all. So in the end, Fitzgerald loses Zelda over having a drinking problem, and Gatsby loses Daisy for selling alcohol. Alcohol must have been a heavy topic for my boy Fitzgerald, as it affected his relationship. Therefore, he uses this as one of Gatsby's downfalls. Now that we know the facts, we can clearly see the struggles of Fitzgerald's life and how it is expressed through Gatsby's relationship with Daisy in the novel. Fitzgerald basically wants to tell us, the readers, the experiences he had in his life, and he does this through Gatsby. So at this point, it's pretty clear Gatsby was basically based on Fitzgerald himself. And if you can't see that still, well, I don't know how to help you. Now, for the main question, let's see what Fitzgerald is really saying about love. Fitzgerald fell in love with a woman and became a writer to impress her. Gatsby was no different, as we saw in the novel. Fitzgerald and Gatsby both had their successes in their life, in which Fitzgerald got to marry Zelda, and Gatsby was able to win back Daisy for a short amount of time. But in the end, we can see that these relationships ended terribly. As we have seen, Zelda leaves Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald reflects this through Gatsby as Daisy choosing Tom over Gatsby, as Gatsby loses his control. Love itself is already hard to define, and it has been a long-age question about what true love is, but most people can agree that love is a good aspect in life. But for my man Fitzgerald, that is not the case. Love is not such a positive thing in his life. He shows that love is nothing more than the selfish needs of people. And others might see love in a relationship on the outside, but at a deeper meaning in the inside, there are more devious reasons into a relationship. We see that the characters in the novel wanted their own things in life, and they got into a relationship. Zelda wanted a rich, successful man, in which Fitzgerald worked his butt off to fit this standard. Daisy was also looking for a man that can show control and take control of her life. In the end, these relationships were not out of love, but just out of the selfish needs of oneself. The only love Fitzgerald shows in his novel is having stability in a relationship. Gatsby and Fitzgerald had their stable parts in life when they could provide and receive what Daisy and Zelda wanted. We can see stability in Tom and Daisy's relationship because Tom is able to provide what Daisy wants for the rest of her life, which is control. So again, this goes back to the thing where if you can't meet the needs of the other person, the relationship ain't gonna work. Also, Fitzgerald sees that relationships don't work if they are one-sided. Gatsby shows more care to Daisy than Daisy does to Gatsby. Relationships that are one-sided are unstable. Love to everyone is not always positive. There is an ugly side to the perspective of love, and Fitzgerald tells us that side of love, as he himself went through the sorrow and sadness of that. So is this true? Is love really not real? Well, my man Fitzgerald, and what we can see from his novel, certainly thinks love is not real. People only want each other for the benefit for themselves, and that's a pretty sad view on the human nature. Well, that's it for this part. I'm gonna pass it back to my boy back in the hood.
Oh, my bad, guys. Sorry about that. Well, there you have it. That's an analysis on the Great Gatsby, thanks to my homeboy DC out there. And Well, I guess if you haven't read this book, then it's on you. That's pretty stupid. Why would you watch the video and if you haven't read the book? Ah, come on. Anyway, well, now you know the background to Fitzgerald and Jay Gatsby. There you go. See you next time on ELABOYZZ. Actually, no, they won't bring it next time. It's probably the only video we're going to be making. So, anyway, go on with your day. See you next time.